everyone, welcome to Wicked West Books. My name is Meg West and today we are doing a little mini book haul and the books that I'm looking forward to coming out during 2024, brand new year. I did some research to find some of these books. Some of them I knew were going to come out this next year and some of them I learned about literally today. So we're gonna go first with the books that I'm looking forward to and kind of work in the haul as we go. So the first book that is coming out that I'm looking forward to is The Atlas Complex by Olivia Blake. This is the final book in the trilogy. Hi, baby. Hi. And I am so looking forward to finishing this trilogy. It's been an amazing book 1 and 2, and I would just love to see the final of that story arc come together. And I guess he would too. You come to be part of the conversation? You had so much to say a second ago. Are you camera shy? The Atlas Complex comes out on January 9th and is the very first book that I am extremely looking forward to in this new year. It's probably one of the ones that I'm looking forward to the absolute most. And kind of on that note, I just bought Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. I love the Atlas 6 so much that I figured it's time I should try some of her other books and see if I like them just as much. So I picked this book up and I fell in love first with the artwork on the inside of the page, and then when you read the synopsis, there is a vampire real estate, a fraudulent medium who is the actual godson of death, and there's a ghost. And I don't see why there's any reason I shouldn't like this book. I already know that I like the author, and I don't even need the plot. The characters are interesting enough that I think this is actually going to be a really good read. The second book that I'm looking forward to coming out this year comes out on January 16th, and it's Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett. I know absolutely nothing about this second book in the series or what's even happened in the first book because I haven't read it yet, but I did already buy it. That, of course, is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. I saw a review of this book and it made me absolutely want it. Apparently it's written kind of journal style for someone who is studying fairies, and it has some footnotes on this page. It has some footnotes about the actual fairies that are being studied, and I love a book with a footnote. Love a book with a footnote. So I know that there's kind of a romance going on in here, maybe. That's how I heard it anyway. But it's also absolutely gorgeous and has footnotes and is about fairies. So I will be reading book 1 and picking up book 2 this year. And on January 16th, this book also comes out. So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole. This cover is absolutely gorgeous, and I know I read the synopsis for this one, but it seems like a whole lot is going to go on in this book, and it seems like it's going to be kind of a hard book to synopsize, but I am very much looking forward to it. I know that it has some Jamaican-based mythology, magic system kind of background to it, but I know absolutely nothing about Jamaican kind of magic or mythology for background, so I'm looking forward to this book. And I also picked up Witches Steeped in Gold by Sinan Smart, which is another book that is based on a Jamaican background for its magic and fantasy building systems. If I remember correctly, this was on my most anticipated reads of last year, 2 years ago, whenever this book came out. 2021. Oh. I'm way behind on picking this book up, but when I saw it on the shelf and saw that it was signed, I kind of had to pick it up. There was no saying no to it at that point. So I know that this is Jamaican. This involves an heir to an overthrown magically gifted dynasty and the daughter of the self-crowned I don't know how to pronounce that word. I will have to figure that out when I read the book. But I think queen, the self-crowned queen of the current kind of way that the kingdom is set up, and also just it's gorgeous. absolutely gorgeous. Both of these book covers are, and therefore they are anticipated that I read them this year. The next book I'm looking forward to comes out on February 6th, and it is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. Fantasy meets Knives Out. That's it. That's all I've got for this, and I'm curious. I haven't watched Knives Out actually, but I'm gonna read the book that is kind of like a fantasy one of those. I can't explain why, but it seems like something I would really enjoy, so we're gonna give it a shot. Then on February 20th, A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faizal, I think, comes out, and that is a vampire heist novel that is going to be the first in a series, and that sounds like a really good time. I will definitely be picking that book up on the day that it comes out. Next is March 26th, The Weavers of Alamaxia by Hadir Elspy comes out, and I didn't know about book 1, which is The Daughters of Izdihar. So I don't really know too much about The Daughters of Izdihar. I will learn how to pronounce that, I promise. Or The Weavers of Alamaxia, but I do know that it is a duology based on an Egyptian mythology, and I love an Egyptian mythology. So I want to pick up the duology. Probably when book 2 comes out, I'll just buy both of them, because that sounds like a really good time for me. And I can't think of too many Egyptian mythology based books, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Then on June 16th, out comes Winterlust by Patricia Briggs. As is usual for the Patricia Briggs novels, this is a Mercy Thompson novel. It is going to be book, I don't know, like something like 14 in the series. It's gone a ways into the series. I have no clue what it's about. I don't need to know, because Patricia Briggs is my auto-buy author. Doesn't matter what she writes, I want a copy of it. I knew that it's a new Mercy book, and that's about it. That's all I know. I'll figure the rest out when I read it. And the only other book that is coming out this year that I am looking forward to is Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 5th book in the Way of Kings series. It's going to be a 10-book series. All of the books are absolutely massive. I expect this one to be very big. And it's the finale for the first 5 books. I believe there's supposed to be a time gap between the first 5 books and the second 5 books in the series. And I am very much looking forward to it. I absolutely love reading Brandon Sanderson. So when this book comes out, I will probably have prepped and reread books 1 through 4 just for book 5, which is gonna be a long reading list. And then I have one more book to mention for books that I'm looking forward to, because this is also a book haul, and that is The Lumineers by Susan Dennard. I've heard Susan Dennard's name more connected to Truthwitch than this series, but I love a good bone on the cover. I love when there's a good skull on the cover, and it seems like a book that I would really like, purely based on the cover. So it seems like the main character lives in a very small town that doesn't make it on maps, and it's surrounded by forest that has evil things that come out at night, and there is a group of people called the Lumineers who hunt those things in the night in order to keep the town safe. And obviously there is a romance going on in it, because most books do. Yeah, no, I saw book 2, and I thought that the cover looked absolutely amazing, so when I found book 1, I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And like I said, I've heard good things about Susan Dennard's writing, so we're gonna see if this is any good. And again, absolutely gorgeous cover. So yeah, that is going to be it. Those are the books that are coming out this next year that I'm looking forward to buying and reading, and a few books that I've already bought in order to prepare for those. Hopefully for this year I can manage not to buy anything that wasn't on this list that I just gave you, so that I can also try to clean out some of these books that are on my TBR, because they don't fit so well on the shelf anymore, and I'd like to kind of mix them back in with the read books. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like this video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will see you again next Wednesday. Have a wicked day. Okay.